those of you who haven't met, I'm the new president of State Young Dems. With me up here is John Midwood, our chair of chapter presidents, and Paolo, Cremidis, our rural caucus chair. We've got a board of 22 people, so I'm glad that they could come down or come up in your cases to sit with me today. I just want to communicate the three things that are the major focuses in my mind that the Young Dems are going to be working on over the next 2 years, with a grand focus next year on the state senate re-elections. I previously, to being president, I was the political director, and as political director, I put forward a campaign plan where we knocked 500,000 doors for state senate Democrats, and we want to do that again, and help more. So the goal I've set over the next 2 years is to knock 1 million doors and make 2.5 million calls. We've already started making a dent in that for candidates across the state, thanks to growth in our rural chapters. Thank you, Paolo. As well as a renewed effort, for lack of a better word, to help fight back against our president. So with that in mind, the way we're going to do that is working together as closely as possible with every local chapter we charter, as well as every local chapter we currently have. Thanks to our efforts in the past, we were 55% of the national Young Democrats data as the state of New York, which means we were more than all other 43 chapters of the Young Democrats combined. Not that I say that a lot, but we intend to keep that up. And it's clear we're no longer competing against any other state Young Dem chapters, it's just against us. And it doesn't matter. So if we don't win, all of that's moving. So we will have, this year we're trying to just target as many races as we can to basically practice, as well as help get us more Democrats in the infrastructure of our counties. Not necessarily Young Democrats, although I'd always love more. I think it's just about getting true Democrats in these seats. We're working with the party to do whatever we need to up front. That's this year. We'll be starting endorsements the next few weeks. We started a campaign request form. We only endorse candidates who we can actually do campaign action for. It's not that we don't like other candidates, it's that I don't feel that it's right to say, hey, we endorse you, but we can't send you any support, money, calls, or doors. So, and we're not in a place where our endorsement, I think, in my opinion, just carries votes yet. Maybe one day, that'd be great, but for now, I think it's about, hey, we endorsed you, we're really gonna do something for you. That brings me to the second, the second thing that we need to do as an organization is fundraising. I want to be able to be in a place where I'm not worried about chartering a bus to DC. Right? I want to be in a place where I have to make a decision about, do I put us in the red, or do I, have a meeting? We have a current operating budget around 7,000. I have to check our treasurer report again to be sure, but it's not enough. We're a statewide organization. We have less money than some of our chapters. So working with the board, we're going to do some more fundraising efforts than we ever have. My goal at the end of my 2 years is to have 40,000 in the account. That means I'm going to have to raise probably about 50,000 to put us over that, so we have some spending money. But I'm going to work with everyone to do it. I can't do it alone, but it's something that if as Young Democrats, if we want to be taken more seriously, if we want to do the things we want to do, we need that money. We need the money. And it's not a ton of money. It's not it's not game changing, but it's enough that I don't have to worry about my expenditures that I have to do. And right now we're in a place where I get nervous every time a chapter asks me for $200 to sponsor an event, because I'm like, oh, well then, that means I guess we don't have pizza at the next thing, which is not a great way to get people to come to your meeting. So we'll be working very hard on that. I'm going to be sending out some fundraising emails this week. We have a fundraiser coming up next month, and each of our regions will be focusing on it as well. The capital having a fundraiser at the end of August, which would be good. Which brings me to the most interesting part, and the thing that I wanted to talk most about, which is chartering new chapters. It touches on every aspect of what our organization needs to do and wants to do. And again, folks up here in this room, specifically Paolo and John, have been very helpful with that work. Specifically with red counties. It's interesting to see in New York how different every county is. What's particularly crazy to me is that we have 61 counties, and prior to my election we had only 20 chapters. We had just under a third. We now have 27 that look like they're going to charter within a few months, if not sooner. And it looks like as of yesterday, we closed out the downstate region, finally having a chapter in Suffolk. And now we're picking up counties like Cattaraugus, we're going to pick up counties like Putnam, Fulton, Greene, anyone I'm missing?
Chautauqua, Seneca, Genesee, Livingston.
Oneida?
Oneida, Tioga.
Tompkins?
Tompkins and
Yeah.
Tompkins.
Tompkins is good. Tompkins will be one day.
Steuben, Portland, and there's a couple, Allegheny. There's a large group of county committees that we've been working with. Yeah.
So we're picking up counties all over the state, and that's great. The 3 counties on my wish list that I do not have, that I would deeply want to have, and if anyone has anyone way, I will sit down with anyone, have any length of conversation with anyone I need to have. But we don't have Niagara. We don't have Onondaga, which is Syracuse. We don't have Erie, which is Buffalo. And every county is helpful. These are places where I feel that if we got a stronghold in, we could get in surrounding counties more easily because there'd be a base, there'd be a strong, there's no shortage of Democrats in those 3 counties. And even though they're not the more rural counties, which I want to pick up because I think that's where we need to bring our message to, it's a place where we can launch to get those counties. I can't be trying to charter every chapter in the state from New York City. Or I can't be trying to charter every chapter in the state from New York City, Albany, and Monroe.
Rochester.
So getting those 3 counties would make a world of difference. Suffolk was a big pickup. It was one of my wish list ones, but those other 3 are still big. We've in the past year, I looked at the numbers, we've doubled in membership. We had about 115 delegates, which is 1,150 people at convention in 2016. We now have 234, like that, 224. So which is 2,240 people. So we're growing, and that's important. We're going to keep growing, but I think it's we need those strongholds to do. I'm proud of the work we've done. We'll be doing, of course, nuanced things such as trainings in those counties. We'll be doing days of action, things we've consistently done in the past. But